What's the crack, everyone? I hope we're all keeping very well. So I'm outside St George's Market here, which is the last surviving covered Victorian market in Belfast. If you look back on some of my older videos, I have covered this in the past, talking to some of the traders, different things like that. But today I'm actually going to do a bit of a walk around, and this is particularly for people maybe visiting the city and want to see what it's all about and see if it's of interest to them to visit. I'm going to shut up in a second, okay, but just a brief history before we walk around here. So St George's Market was built sort of in different phases between 1890 and 1896 when it was fully completed. As mentioned, it's the last surviving covered Victorian market in Belfast. Of course, markets like this back in the day were almost like the supermarkets for the people of Belfast. They used to come and buy their grocery for the week. You can even buy live animals and different things like that in St George's Market. If you look in front of us here, that used to be called Maze Meadow, if I recall, and there were cattle markets and different animal markets as far as the eye could see there. So it was a very different picture back in even the 1950s and 60s. So let's go have a little bit of a look inside. So for all you people wondering, it is a weekend market. It's open from 8 AM to 2 PM Friday, 9 AM to 3 PM on Saturday, and 10 AM to 3 PM on Sundays. And you can get everything you want. Here there's, I think, over 300 different traders. And you'll see some of them as we're walking around. Some of them do go in flux, so some of these people will maybe come in on a Saturday and Sunday. So Friday is a little bit quieter. You get coffee and different baked goods, things like that. You can see down there, there's sort of remnants of the old sort of style market, so you get a lot of fish stalls and different traders like that. And then we'll see lots of local arts and crafts and loads of different things about the place here. So you'll definitely find something that you want. There's Lara, it's great stuff actually. It's a lot of Caribbean food, Caribbean sauces and things. So as I said, there's 300 different traders. Most of them are local. In fact, I think pretty much all of them are local traders. I would come in here because I work not too far away, so I come in here on Friday for breakfast and for my coffee. So Flax Fox, great local artist there. Get whatever you want for your wee souvenirs going home, or even if you're local, something you want to put up in the house. So I'm going to do a bit of a lap and then sort of crisscross my way through. It does get a lot busier, so I'm down here, what is it, 9 AM. Definitely gets a lot busier as we go on day, so I thought I'd come down here while it's less busy, less hectic going through. So as we go through, you'll see a lot of the local traders. That's the oldest trader still left in the market. That's Paddy's stall. He does a lot of antiques and different sort of bric-a-brac and things like that. You can see a little bit closer here what sort of stuff. So if you're looking something that's maybe an antique from Ireland, you can get everything you need here. And they're the oldest traders in the market. Some beautiful paintings here, stuff like that. You get some great vinyl. I'm doing a walkthrough of the market on video. Do you want to say hello? Hi. Get the best hats in the market, the best hats in the north from down here. Okay, so do you want to say Hannah's Hats, established 1924, and you've been there since the start, haven't you?
Since 1924.
This is 1924. Yes, grand. Bye. So you get the food. The food will come on later. Okay, so Med Max, different places like that will come on later, but you do get the breakfast stands starting early if you're looking some grub. That in there, Drop Hopper, is probably my favourite coffee place in Belfast, so I'm going to get a wee coffee before I leave for the day. But Belfast Babco, give a wee shout out to them. They do incredible breakfast baps. So Belfast bap stacked with high, and I mean that, stacked high with egg, bacon and sausage. You should see it when it gets actually completed. It is absolutely massive. You can sort of see there. Definitely fill you up. That could probably be for two people. I think it's, I would say they're probably the biggest Belfast bap in the city. If you don't know what Belfast bap is, it's a local style of sort of bread roll. Usually with breakfast items, different things like that in it. And like crisps, if you're making a crisp sandwich. I'm going to clear my lens a little bit here. I think it's a little bit cloudy. Just 2 seconds. Back in business here. So yeah, breakfast bap made by, it's kind of a Belfast institution. It is sort of roll with like a crusty sort of top on top of it. You saw it there in it. It's made by a master baker, don't say that too fast, master baker called Barney Hughes in the 1800s, and he actually made it as sort of like a leftover of his bread, he would make them into rolls and give them to the poor of Belfast. So they say that BAP comes from bread after production, if you want to know that. So SD Bell, Ireland's oldest independent tea blenders and coffee roasters. You got crepe stands over there, falafel. You got a wee drop hopper kiosk there. The crepery's been open for God knows how long. I remember that 10-15 years ago, like. So El Toro Grill, you get their burgers, you get some vegetarian food over there, and they have a lovely seating area here as well when you're on to plonk yourself down to have some food. So we're going to go around here. So around that sort of direction, all around there is sort of where all the food stands and everything else would be. As you go around, you get some more baked goods, different things there. There's some lovely Italian food there, baked goods and savoury ones. And then you've got the sort of more old-fashioned sort of stalls, like with the Ulster Weaver tea towels. If you want a wee souvenir like that, then in Union established 1835. All these works were made up north. Get some fruit juice. So the market really does do everything. You've got the proper traditional sort of market traders at this side. So it's kind of split up into different sections, really. You have clothing and produce and different things like that in this sort of corner. We got like the arts more in the centre and the other side over there, and then you've got all the food stalls like sizzle and roll and the likes over here. You can get paella over there, and then lovely stalls like this. Get yourself a little souvenir, some nice Irish jewellery. And you know, it's not really just tourists that come over here. There are a lot of local restaurants and cafes and things. They'll get a lot of their produce because there's some lovely produce there, as you can see. That will get that, and they'll get their fish at the other side and different things. I believe this clock up here is from the old fish market that used to be across the way, sort of the direction of where the courts are now. So I do believe that is a very, very old clock from maybe the 1800s, early 1900s or so. It actually might say here. Let's have a little look. No, it just says when it was restored. So there you go. Clock was restored. Oh, there you are. I was right. As always, of course. Old Belfast fish market clock. That tells you a little bit about the history. The clock's believed to actually be manufactured in 1821 by John Moore, my namesake. He did the mechanism, the clock for the Abra clock as well. So that's pretty cool to still have on show. Got refurbished. Got some more jewellery here. I actually got my replacement sort of wedding ring. I lost my wedding ring and I got a replacement one there. And then you got your proper old school style market stalls down this direction, just selling everything and then anything. Got some chowder, say it right. You got ribs. We think you'd find some really good barbecue and rib sauce over here. Sanders, I always go there for breakfast in the morning time. And different things like that. That's a new addition here, so that's the pizza place, Antonio made in Naples. So that'll be open a little bit later. You get all these, and not too dear, like 11, 12 for a good sort of Napoli style pizza. Okay? So you got some beautiful artwork and everything else over there. If you see yourself in the video, of course, put it in the comments below. You know, you got some Adobe signage there, more antiques over here, beautiful rings and different things like that. So if you want to look back on some of my videos, I did talk to some of the owners and operators of a lot of these stalls here. I love this sort of stuff here. This is really, really cool. Red Bucket Resin. Hello. Some beautiful pieces there. Like a wee souvenir. I think a lot of these ship out as well, so you can maybe get sent back to your home country if you're not from here. Tom Nolly's is a really, really good sort of deli section here, so you can actually get sandwiches. I'll show you the other side here. Gift shop to get a lot of local pieces, but beautiful breads, really, really nice breads, some nice focaccia, right? And some lovely sandwiches. But yes, that's been there as long as I can remember. In my old video, I actually interviewed people from there as well. So go around here, get some items of clothing, different things like that, and we're sort of back where we started, but I'm going to crisscross around the other side as well and show you what the crack is. That's the wee shop we go into most days to get wee bits and pieces for lunch and different things like that. And then you've even got plant nursery. So it used to be A massive plant stall used to be in the centre here, but it's no longer there anymore, unfortunately. And being in Ireland, you get really random bits and pieces like that, religious imagery, stuff like that. You usually find that in the Holy Shop. There's literally a Holy Shop in Belfast, by the way, on Chapel Lane. So there's a lot more like Irish gifts and different things like that, which is great to see, to be honest with you. There's alpaca wool, scarves and different things there. Children's gifts, lovely leather bags. Vintage USA, that's antique sort of shops, does some cool pieces. Barrel crafts over there. As I said to you, anything you really want, to be honest, around here. Love these pieces. Always admire these as I go past. Beautiful photography of local sites all around Ireland, mainly up north. You can see there, spot your favourite ones if you want to go visit any of those, obviously. And as you're walking around as well, you'll see lots of lovely dogs. There's a dog friendly market as well, so if you're a dog fan, you'll see them. Hey, yeah. Right, Paddy? Paddy, do you want to say hello to everybody? I'm doing a walk around to the market.
Hello, everyone.
Oldest stall in the market, isn't that right?
Yeah, I'm the oldest.
You've been here since the very start as well, like, yeah?
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too, mate. Thank you. So, Paddy's been running this. It's his family-owned place, as I showed you on the way past earlier. Friday and Sunday, they're open, okay? So, they'll buy your items and they'll sell them as well. But yes, there's some really cool stalls around here. Like there's coins, banknotes, medals over there. You got a wee bookshop and everything else. So, what do you think, guys? Have you been here before? Are you looking for anything in particular? Are you coming to Belfast? Are you looking forward to your visit? Obviously, if you are coming to Belfast and you need any tips or anything else like that, make sure you follow my social media pages on Document Belfast. So you can find me mainly on Instagram and TikTok. You can't find me on thing anymore, on Facebook anymore, unfortunately. There's Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca. So pulled over. Make sure you visit here as well. One of the best food stalls in the entire market. You know. So yes, I think this bit's the only bit I haven't gone down now. Just all these really cool market stalls down here, some rustic jewellery, ornaments for your tree. Coming up to Christmas season again, coming to Halloween and all. Little salty seahorse, like that we stall, some lovely artwork and stuff. You got Kilt Company there, you got Irish Sea Glass for that side, and everything in between. So yes, that's a little lap. You got customer toilets and all too, by the way, if you're looking. Maybe changing facilities, different things like that. So you've got really everything you need. As I said, it's dog friendly. So it's open Friday, Saturday and Sunday every week. So if you're interested, definitely a great spot to hit. Some people do miss out on it accidentally. They don't know about it. So hopefully you've seen this. Maybe you're coming to Belfast. And if you have any questions about Belfast or anything else, make sure you give me a message on my page, of course. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Give this video a like and comment underneath. But thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this quick tour of St. George's Market, the oldest covered Victorian market, the last remaining covered Victorian market in the whole of Belfast. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you later.